I want to transition to the National Basketball Association because one of my favorite teams in the National Basketball Association has been pretty atrocious to watch. That would be the Golden State Warriors. They lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder on Saturday, 130-123, after leading by as many as 18 points, and were up 3 with 1.6 seconds remaining in regulation. Golden State remains winless on their homestand and lost the regular season series against the Thunder 2-1. It's a pretty bad situation right now because up until the other night this weekend when Andrew Wiggins dropped 31, up until that transpired, he was giving you nothing. He was giving you nothing. Let's just call it what it is. It was quite embarrassing to see what was transpiring. The only person that was giving you anything was Steph Curry. Now, this brother's approaching for 35 years of age. He's the greatest shooter God has ever created. He's averaging 30.3 points on 48% shooting. So Steph Curry is giving you what you expect him to give you and what he's supposed to give you. What the hell is Andrew Wiggins doing? Now, you don't have any personal issues, at least that we know of, like you did last year. What's your excuse to be on the court playing the way that you were playing up until this past weekend? You hit 4 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. You showed the pulse. You finished with 31. Congratulations to you. But Andrew Wiggins is averaging 12 points on 42% shooting. What the hell is that about? You better than that, bro. You better than that. Klay Thompson is a different animal. I've become very, very concerned about him. I usually don't worry about Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is one of the greatest shooters in the history of basketball. Easily a top 10 shooter of all time. I would argue top 5. He's a 4-time champion, religiously shoots better than 40% from three-point range throughout his career. But obviously he had a nasty knee injury in the finals against Toronto and never been the same since because he was out damn near 2 years. He's come back. He's had moments. I don't believe they win the NBA Finals against Boston without him. He played an integral role, even though he wasn't Steph Curry. Andrew Wiggins could have easily been an MVP of that series instead of Steph Curry, the way he played against Boston. He's got to get his act together, which I believe he will. Klay Thompson is a different animal because Klay Thompson wants his money. Klay Thompson, we know, can shoot. But right now, he's only averaging 13.8 points, 40.1% shooting from the field, 32.9% shooting from three-point range. I mean, my God, that is not the Klay Thompson we know and love. You're talking about the combination of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson being the greatest shooting backcourt in the history of basketball. You're talking about Klay Thompson being a sniper extraordinaire. You're talking about one of the greatest shooters the game has ever seen, struggling not just to make shots, but to get shots off. He is not getting shots off with the level of regularity he once did. So what does that mean? That means you can't get your own shot. That means you can't create enough space. That means defenders are figuring out how to defend you, or you have shrunk, you have diminished. You're not who you used to be. And I don't like saying this because Klay Thompson wants his money. He's in position to get a new contract. Getting paid about $43 million this year. Wants his money. And damn it, if he shows you is a shell of what he used to be, guess what? He would deserve it because he's a 4-time champion and shooters don't die so easy. Athletic dudes do. If you are Russell Westbrook and your success is predicated on your athleticism, the minute that slips, you're done. Luckily for Russell Westbrook, that hasn't happened because he still has that athleticism available to him. That ain't Klay's game. Klay's a shooter. And as long as you can shoot and you can get that level of separation and get your shot off, you're butter. You can make it happen. We don't know about that right now with him. And that's problematic. And so if you're Joe Lacob and you're Peter Guber and your Warriors ownership, you got to think long and hard before you give Klay Thompson the money that he covers. Maybe it's time for Klay Thompson to go to the Los Angeles Lakers because that's the only place he'd want to go to if he's not retiring in Golden State. But if you can't get your shot off, that might be your best chance because LeBron James will get you open shots. Anthony Davis could get you open shots. Steph Curry could do that for you too. But then again, it's a bit harder for him because he's smaller in stature. in size. Klay Thompson doesn't seem to be himself at all. And as a result, neither do the Warriors. You combine that with Draymond Green's suspension, him being out after putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold. It's not a good situation in Golden State right now. But I've identified 4 problems, and guess what? Draymond Green isn't one of them. Draymond Green got to zero in and lock in and control himself a bit better. There's no doubt about that. But I think he'll be fine. Andrew Wiggins, you got to be aggressive. Klay Thompson, you got to find your shot, bro, and find a way to get off your shot, especially before you run into the likes of a Devin Booker who was busting your ass last year and was talking shit to you in the same breath. You got to watch out about that. But then you also got to worry about this with the Golden State Warriors. When is Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody going to show that they can be contributors to a championship equation? Y'all been there for a few years now. Same coach, same system, same teammates. What's the problem? What's the problem? At some point in time, them brothers got to step up. Otherwise, the Golden State Warriors, as we know it, meaning legit bona fide championship contenders, will fade into the twilight. Because I don't think the Lakers are going away. I know Denver's not going away. We haven't taken Memphis into account when Ja Morant gets back. Dallas is finding a way to win games. Do we really think that Phoenix is going to fade into the twilight with KD and Devin Booker? Minnesota's coming because Anthony Edwards has arrived. And Sacramento is here. I'm just telling y'all. Warriors got to get it together. If they don't, I'm not going to blame Joe Lacob one bit for moving in a completely different direction with a multitude of dudes. He's about winning championships. They've set the standard. There are others who have to step up to help them meet the standard. But that don't mean the ones who have done it already don't have to continue to do their jobs. That means you, Klay. It means you, Wiggins. Step up. Step up.